Nice.
And they're like, and his dad stands up. And
Hey, this is a scary story.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Welcome to the 3 a.m. podcast. This is DJ.
My name's Charlie.
my name's Sean.
Okay, so we went to Jackson, right? What, 3 weeks ago?
Yes.
3 weeks ago now. Everybody went to Jackson. If you don't know where Jackson is, it's in Wyoming. The town of Jackson is like an old cowboy kind of town. It's really cool. The town square, on each corner of the town square, there's these huge arches made out of
Bones of dead animals.
Yeah, so PETA, take note. No, there's these arches of deer antlers. So very outdoorsy, very, I don't know. It's a cool town.
Way cool.
Yeah.
It's all right.
Like we said in our Instagram posts, our friend group has probably been to Jackson more than any other place together.
Mm-hmm.
We go at least once a year.
Yes.
Yeah. While we were in Jackson, thanks guys.
Yeah, I don't know what you want. Correct.
Yeah. While we were in Jackson, one thing that we really try to do with trips, which I think just greatly increases the
Sean, do you have no idea where this is going? Me neither.
One thing that greatly for us increases the quality of a trip is good food.
Okay. Yeah. You're right. You're right.
Right. And we made sure that we wanted to have good campfire food because we're camping.
Should I be telling this story?
Okay, I know where this is going.
Do you want to?
No, continue.
Okay. And so we're planning out our meals, what we're going to do. We have this group chat going, and I suggest we have pizza. Like we bring
Cast
dough,
iron
cast iron pizza over the fire. So everyone's like, cool, let's do that. Our group is obsessed with pizza. I mean, who's not?
Yeah.
So we have all the ingredients. We have like 2 or 3 cast iron pans going. Everybody's making their own pizza. We have all these different toppings, and everyone's hungry. Was that the day we went hiking too?
Oh, dude, all day.
Yeah. So we were that was like our hiking day. And it was our last night on the trip. So we're already kind of like worn down from the other activities that we had. We went whitewater rafting the day before and exploring the town and whatnot. So we're really excited to eat, especially pizza. So we're making our pizzas, and Sean starts making his.
He patiently waits till the end.
Yeah.
There's like 12 of us.
Yeah.
So Sean waits like an hour until he can finally make his.
Yeah. Yeah. And he throws it over the fire, starts getting a little crusty.
Ooh.
In the best way.
Crispy.
Yeah. And
flaky, cheesy.
Like apparently that's a sign of a good pizza. You know, like if you can lift it up on one end and like it stays like a board.
Ooh.
You know? So he gets it and he's not even thinking, he's just hungry. And just as he's about to cut it to start eating it.
It looks beautiful. Like everyone's like, dang, that's so beautiful, Sean. Good job.
Just as he's about to cut that beautiful pizza and start eating it, everyone's like, show us the bottom. Show us what. I don't know why everyone's so obsessed with seeing the bottom of the pizza.
This did not happen to anyone else.
Yeah. Because everyone, apparently, I think somebody burnt the bottom of their pizza. So
we were kind of judging everyone's like, how perfectly golden brown is your bottom?
Yeah.
And like one person came out black and everyone's like, man, you suck. Like you are of no worth. So yeah, everyone was getting judged on the bottom of their pizza. So everyone's like, show us the bottom. Show us the bottom.
And Sean
giddy.
Sean like tips his pizza over to show the bottom, and his pizza just falls on the dirt.
Face down.
Face down.
Because after like 3 hours of trying to make pizza.
Just a long day of hiking and the pizza falls on the ground. And Sean,
We have limited like stuff. We're camping,
Yeah.
so it's like, dude, that's your pizza.
Yeah.
And it's just face down in dirt.
We did have more ingredients, you know, but it's like that's still like somebody else's seconds, you know. So that happens and everyone's just silent. And the most silent was Sean.
Dude, when Sean gets mad, Sean gets quiet.
Yeah. Yeah, like just a silent rage. And he's like, "Oh, I'm just gonna go to sleep hungry."
Like 6 of us jumped up.
Yeah, we all rallied.
We're like, no, we'll make you pizza. We'll make you pizza. So like 16 people are making one pizza for Sean. Gets done super quick.
Yeah.
The story ends well. Like he got a delicious pizza, but he handcrafted this one.
Yeah. How did the second one taste? I mean, you didn't taste the first one, but
Yeah,
It tasted
Compare.
better than the first one.
oh, good. I'm glad. Wow. It really does take a village to raise a child. Just funny. It's funny because we all have had our things at Jackson or something where like we were kind of tipped. Like, for example, we went hiking and I rolled my ankle.
This time?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Do
I
you
wasn't
remember
with
that?
Well, I wasn't with you on the trail.
Yeah.
I think I was ahead.
Yeah.
And then
You guys were maybe like 50 yards ahead.
I'm like, dang, DJ
Like, everyone
really
was kind of
is
spread out.
slow, dude.
Yeah.
And then
We get
from
to
out
the-
the trees, he's like,
Okay. Dramatic.
yeah.
Dramatic. I was walking pretty normally, but it hurt.
I was like, are you doing the robot? What's going on?
Yeah.
He just walked past us, and Mal, DJ's girlfriend, quietly goes, he rolled his ankle. I was like, damn. Dropping like flies out here.
Yeah, everyone's like, "Oh, are you okay?" I'm like, "No, I know you're trying to hold in that laugh. I know you don't care if I'm okay."
I'm all laughing. Everyone's concerned.
Charles recently has
Oh,
been
dude.
making a ton of like jokes and like trying
Not
to like
money. Sorry.
say I don't know, just come from the background while like we're in a group setting and like nobody hears him. So that's something that you've been struggling with, right? Tell us about it.
I was like, everyone, I'm going to go behind this tent and change. No one come over here. So I go behind the tent. I go behind the tent. I look around. There's no one. So I'm like, all right, Willie out. And I straight pull my pants down. And the second it like exposes my manhood, a family of like 6 walks out of nowhere right by me. And I'm like, "Whoa," and just jump into the tent as fast as I could. But I basically exposed myself to minors. Don't tell the cops. What are you talking about? Jokes in the background.
I was just talking about how nobody's been validating you and your jokes recently.
What are you talking about? That was you.
Okay, that was me first before Jackson, but then recently it switched to you.
This weird thing has been happening where we'll hang out and one of us will be making jokes all night and it feels like no one is laughing at him.
Either like nobody hears us, which sucks.
Or they're
Everybody's
just
been in
not
that,
funny.
or they're not funny, which is worse. So,
More likely.
More
yeah,
likely.
more
Yeah.
likely, yeah, for you.
Yeah. I can't remember specifically. I just remember it happening and I was like, dang, this is what DJ felt like.
Yeah.
This does hurt.
It is debilitating, to say the least.
When you crack a joke and crickets, yeah.
Yeah, it's wow. Big dead fatality.
And yet we do this.
Yeah.
Dude, the other day.
Oh yeah, what happened, bro?
Oh, I'll get to that in a second. God damn it. The other day, I get out of bed. I wake up. There's a pair of jeans I was wearing on yesterday. So I pull the jeans on and I feel something in the pant leg. And I push my whole leg through and out pops the biggest spider in the world. It was just in my pant leg and it hits the ground. I jump and scream and it runs right under my bed. Like the quickness.
Burn the
Out
bed.
of here. Yeah.
Burned the house.
Burn
Yeah.
the house.
But I scared the hell out of MJ. And she was like, what the hell's happening? I was like, there was a huge spider in my pant leg. It touched my hairs. It touched me. It was so gross.
That's so funny.
I was pissed. I had to tell you guys.
Just Aragog in your forbidden forest.
Nice.
Oh man.
I've been
I'm kind of funny. I'm kind of funny.
DJ really turns it on when we start recording. I've been running.
Cool.
Flex on all you
All you non-runners.
Yeah.
No, but there's like I've talked about this place before, but there's like a nature place near my home. Okay. It's pretty big. Like you could get lost in it.
This is where Charles found the
random hut structure.
Yeah.
Which right when I talked about it on the podcast, I went back, completely gone.
Yeah. It was some weird little, I don't know. It was weird. It was strange.
It's weird.
It was eerie.
Yeah. All right, so weird. That's where I've been running, but I usually run during the day like a normal human. The other night I was super restless, so I was like, all right, I'm going to go run. So I go out. It's about 9, so it's dark. I'm in the middle of a Stephen King book, so I'm just listening to Stephen King in the dark alone. So already it's eerie. And I get out there and I can hear something through my headphones, and I take it off, and I kid you not, I hear doom, 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 just drums.
Jumanji.
I'm like the PCC, no. Fijian village.
Just Polynesians.
But it took me like 5 minutes to figure out what was going on. There's a drum circle somewhere out there. It was just doom, 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 and I could tell there was like multiple people doing it. So I was like,
it's a drum line, dude.
Yeah, so it's just a drum circle of hippies or
Nick Cannon,
cultists. Nick out there proved himself.
One band, one sound.
I've never seen it, so
you missing out.
I'm not entertaining you.
That and Stomp the Yard.
Oh, I've seen that.
Yeah, quality movies.
So I'm like, it's eerie already. Like there's a drum circle out here. I don't know. I'm weirded out. So I'm running down pitch black paths. There's no lights out here. Imagine a small path, trees coming in over you, and you're just like basically in a tunnel of trees, and you can't see anything. You're in a forest.
Spoopy.
So I'm running with my headphones. Stephen King book is getting scarier. I'm like, why have I done this thing? And I've run so far, I can't just turn around. I have to like finish the loop. And all of a sudden, I see something move in the path. And I jump. I move back faster than I've ever moved in my life. And I see something black just dart into the path. And it's a skunk. And it's right by me. And I've never been, I think I was more scared than a skunk than a human. It was terrifying. It like lifted its tail, turned around. I just went back as fast as I could.
Hell no.
But I had to go forward. Like I couldn't go back. Because like where I was in the loop, it would be like twice as long to go back. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I waited for like 10 minutes. I picked up some gravel and just started throwing it in the path. And then finally I like mustered all the courage I had. I was like, okay, you got to do this. And I just start walking, and I could see where it kind of went. I couldn't really tell because it's like pitch black. And the second I got too close to where it was, I just ran as fast as I could. After like 10 seconds, the entire valley smelled like skunk. Like I think it led it off like right after me. And I was paranoid it was on me. Turns out it wasn't, but anyway.
I was wondering what that smell was.
I did get chased. Yeah, I texted the guys and I was like, I just got chased in the forest. They're like, what? I was like, I'll tell you on the pod.
I definitely didn't think it was a skunk when you said
I didn't think so either. It's
but I promise you, skunks are scary.
Yeah,
dude, 100%. Yeah. Nobody trying to smell like that.
You didn't find out what the drum circle was though?
No, I think it was just some dirty
Definitely
hippies.
was drumline.
Yeah, some dirty hippies.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's redundant.
I mean, the drumming was
JK,
not
all hippies,
that
we
good.
love you. So, the drumming was not that good.
No, dude. I was listening for a second. I was like, damn, y'all are off.
This is the reason you out here practicing.
I didn't know drums could be out of tune.
Wow. One band, 12 sounds.
Yeah. They didn't know I was just judging them.
Yeah. I thought you couldn't hear anything with your AirPods though.
I took it out because I was like, what's going on? And then I finally figured out it was a freaking weird drum circle, dude.
We have in the studio today one of my best friends. Have grown up with him. He's my cousin, actually.
Oh, wow.
Since we were
It's
little
like
kids.
retract
Since we're
best
little
friend,
kids.
just cousin.
Actually, he's just my cousin.
Yeah.
We share blood or something. I don't know.
Kamalani and his beautiful wife, Nani. So
Hey.
if you hear some giggling in the back,
Aloha.
thank you for laughing. Yeah. Aloha.
Aloha, goodbye.
Yeah.
Rude.
I'm good to move on.
I'm good.
It's roll time.
Oh, wait.
Waiting.
Guys, I just want to say I love our listeners. I love the group. I love the engagement. All the time we get messages from people. People send us funny memes, making fun of Sean. Did you see that one?
The DiGiorno one.
No, dude, I tried to leave it
Oh,
on.
that one too. Yeah.
I did see the DiGiorno one.
Dig yourself deeper into the hole.
Yeah, that one. No, there was another one. I kept leaving it on unread because I was like, Sean's got to see this. But finally, like, couldn't help it.
Yeah, I guess I didn't see that one then.
Then you should look at it. While you look at it, what I'm saying is I love our listeners, and the community that's growing is super exciting. I'm happy with where it's going. I have some community news. Our last 3 p.m. episode was with Spooky Bands. When we posted our shirt announcement, Spooky was commenting. A lot of other listeners were commenting, and Tone Mob was commenting.
Tone Mob is a longtime listener.
Yeah, and he's a contributor.
Yeah, contributor. He's a patron, but he also runs his own podcast where he reviews a bunch of music gear. So we've dropped a shout out to him before, if that sounds familiar. But
Sean and I got a drink with him in Portland once.
Yeah.
Super cool dude. A lot of really encouraging words. Anyway, he messages me today, and he's like, "Man, the internet is a crazy place." And I was like, "Why?" And he said, "I just finished throwing down some tracks that are going to be on Spooky Band's next song."
What,
It's
dude?
like they met through us and they like did a song together.
wow,
Yeah, I was like, "That's cool."
That's
Wow.
dope.
Yeah.
that's really awesome, dude. This is fun.
Anyway, you listeners are the best. I hope each of you are doing well. Thank you for all the love. Thank you for listening.
Thank you for the support.
Yeah.
This is just us having fun, so we're glad that some people are finding fun in it as well.
I'm always so surprised someone listens. I'm like, dude,
I
okay.
don't get it, dude. I seriously don't get it.
You're dumb, but no, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Let's do this.
Let's do this.
We're going to roll our 20-sided die, determine who tells their story in what order. Highest goes first. Charlie got
A 5.
17.
11. So it's gonna go Sean, me, Charles.
cool. All right, Sean, you up.
All right, guys. So tonight, I got a story from an old homie. Gave us another story before. Welcome back, Horror Gamer.
Horror gamer.
Whole roll.
H0RR0RGAM3R.
Oh, the elite language.
Yeah. So when
Can you refresh me about his old one? I can't remember.
Oh.
off the top.
Camping, right?
Horror Gamer gave us a story on cats taking L.
Oh, never mind. I thought it was the one where it's like the mountains, the animal parts. But take that out.
No, his was the one with the ghost pulling the cat by the tail.
Okay.
Yeah. Cat's taking L.
Nice.
So this next story that he shared happened when he was like 10 years old. And he said that he and his family would go and visit his grandparents every year, every other year almost, who lived in Richmond, Virginia. And his grandparents lived in kind of a little house that used to be like a corner store. And it was a pretty successful corner store until one day the husband and the owner of this corner store went out to go and get supplies. His wife was the one to open up the store. While she was doing so, robbers came in, robbed her, and murdered her.
Oh, for not just robbers.
Yeah,
They
they started as robbers.
Killers.
Wait. How long ago was this?
He doesn't say.
But it's his grandparents, so you got to
His
imagine.
grandparents lived in that. It was a house when they bought it. So it had at some point become converted into a house from this corner store, probably shortly after this all happened. So they killed her, robbed the place, and the way that they killed her was pretty gruesome as well. They ended up cutting her head off. So these are some pretty gnarly robbers.
Gross.
Dude,
Yeah.
I feel like, and now I'm an expert, remember, so I feel like you don't go in to rob a place and cut a human's head off. I feel like there's a gap there
I feel like, yeah,
that I'm hoping
that
not just her neck.
that's a huge jump, but I think you can just stop at, you don't go in to rob a place.
I mean, we've all been there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we have.
So the thing that like stands out most about this though, besides the decapitation, is she was wearing a black dress at the moment of her murder.
Oh, dude, this is every ingredient for the best urban legend.
Like she
It's
knew
true.
it was coming or something.
You're just like,
I feel like I need to get ready for tonight.
I gotta dress to the occasion.
something's going to happen.
Okay, I'm really sorry. Do y'all ever get super paranoid about like dying and then being caught? Like I always have the thought when I'm driving and a song's playing, like if I died, the paramedics would like hear me listening to
Yeah.
X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Do you?
Yeah, I've thought about that
Okay,
before.
I thought you were trolling me
Like now's not a good time to die.
because I will look
Like when
wild.
I'm breaking like my diet or something.
Yeah. When I have like 6 pizza pockets in the
Yeah,
microwave.
it's like we found gluten in his stomach in the autopsy.
Yeah, no, I have no shame ever. So it's like they could see me cooking Hot Pockets. I could be listening to Katy Perry.
You can be dropping pizza on the ground.
Dude, no matter what, if I die.
Drop the pizza.
I told you this. I was in Spain and my friend's dad tried to pass a car and we narrowly missed another car. Like his wife screamed, we screamed. I thought I was dying. And all I could think about was they're going to find us in September Ends by Green Day is playing. And I was so pissed. I was like, I don't want to be listening to this while I die.
I mean, that's kind of funny, but my friend Sean's telling a story here.
Okay. Okay, get on with your story. Sorry, horror gamer.
Sorry, Sean. Carry on.
Yeah, sorry. Back to the story, guys. So he remembered that both his grandparents and his dad had kind of wild stories of things that would happen to them in the house. And he's kind of a skeptic too. Before anything happens, he's like, I don't know if that would really happen. His dad told him a story of a time he and his wife were there staying at the house. And his wife ends up waking up one night to someone choking her. And when they both wake up, they see just kind of this dark figure wearing a black dress without a head.
Oh, gosh.
So this is the story that's being relayed to him. He's very skeptical.
So him and his wife saw this?
Horror Gamer's dad and his wife. Yeah. Both saw that. Now, obviously going to this house, they're going to be telling all of the stories, right? Like this is going to be a whole week of just scary, spooky storytelling. And he said, yeah, they would go every other year or so, but they stayed there for a few days. And during the time that he was there, they heard plenty of scary stories, and specifically about the woman in black. Now, the last night that they're there, they're all sitting down in the dining room, obviously telling scary stories about the woman in black, when all of a sudden they hear this thumping, like steps, like heavy, like slow, heavy steps coming from upstairs. And then that sound gets to the top of the stairs and starts walking down. Just slow, heavy thumping. And then it stops. They're all kind of like, this is a little creepy right now. But wait, there's more. They are looking at this kind of, they're in the dining room here. The stairs are coming from upstairs. And there's front door. I mean, it could be going downstairs.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah, idiot. Freaking
Idiot. So sorry.
Can they not see the foot of the stairs from where they're sitting?
They can see the foot of the stairs, but they can't see up it.
Got you.
Okay.
So it's not like an exposed one.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it goes down to the front door. So once they hear the sound stop, the deadbolt on the front door opens. And the chain on the door gets slid back and lifted off.
Nice.
And they're like, and his dad stands up. And
Hey, this is a scary story.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
So the deadbolt?
so his dad gets up and he walks over to the foot of the stairs and looks up. He stands there for a split second, and then Horror Gamer says his dad's face turns white. And instantly he starts booking it for the door. They all start freaking out because their dad, the one who went to go check it out, is
Just
running.
leaving?
Hi, family.
Just GTFOing right now.
Holy.
So they all instantly start like getting up from their chairs and they hear the stomping again. And it's starting from upstairs once again.
Oh, back upstairs again?
Like it's all the way back upstairs. Thump, 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 thump. And then starts coming back down the stairs. Thump, 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 thump. And this time they see the bottom of a black gown at the foot of the stairs as they're all running out the door.
Ugh.
Now he's like 10 years old, so he's kind of being dragged out. And as he's being dragged out, he like takes the time to turn around and look. And he sees a woman standing at the foot of the stairs, headless, with a black dress. And he said 8 people were all sitting there in the dining room. They all saw the same thing. At least the black gown. He didn't say if anyone else turned around to look, though.
Yeah. But that second time, she was like chasing them. She went faster.
She went faster that second time.
She's making headway.
Oh, gosh, damn you.
Boom.
You're grounded.
So they never ended up going and visiting again, though. That was the last night they stayed there. Shortly after, his grandma passed away before their next yearly visit, and the grandpa passed away shortly after that as well. But
Wait, his grandma?
yeah, his grandma and grandpa who lived in the place.
Oh yeah. Okay.
So they'd make a yearly visit. This was the last night of that year. So before they came back to visit, grandma passed away, so they didn't make that visit the next year.
Yeah.
No, that's as far as he knows what's happened. Eventually, grandpa moved out before passing away. I think he was in a home after that, after his wife passed away, his grandma. So
Bro, I straight thought you were going to say the thumping was her like rolling her head down the stairs.
Ooh.
That's what I kept imagining is like thud, dun, dun, dun.
That's a good one. That's
So
a good
retell it, but that's the way you should. Not just kidding.
yeah. I mean,
Sorry, horror gamer. No.
that was not his story though. So like creative liberties, we'll take those.
Yeah. That reminded me of Hereditary, like in the attic.
What part?
Thump, 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 thump.
Oh, I hate that.
Also, when she's chasing him through the house and she's like banging her head on the ceiling.
Ugh.
Oh, so scary, dude.
There's a moment that happens when everything is like fun and games. At least this is for me. Probably Sean, you don't
Until
possess this quality.
Yeah.
But when someone in your group you can tell is actually scared, that kind of electricity like hits me hard. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So if you're like all joking around, it's like kind of spooky, and then someone you see like actually screams out of terror, it like changes it all for me. So you talking about the dad going white and then running, I would be like, oh,
Instantly,
no.
like, I'm out.
Especially your father. It's like, what
Yeah.
the who the
Patriarch
are we?
of the family.
Yeah.
He didn't even say if his dad was like, oh, we need to get out of here. He just said his dad just runs.
Bro, you would need therapy after that. Like, what the? God has forsaken me.
Yeah. It's like, I gotta go get cigarettes.
Headway.
Oh, God.
That was awesome.
Yeah, no. Thanks, Horror Gamer, for that scary story.
Yeah.
That was real spooky.
Oh, that was awesome.
Was that you?
That's me for tonight.
Ooh.
Okay. For me, thank you, Sean. It also comes from another listener. Her name's Sarah. And she's either from or lives in New Jersey right now. She shouted,
Joyzy.
Joyzy. I'm walking.
I'm walking here. We get Wawa and we drink water. Water. And we pay to go on the beach.
Okay. Sorry. She shouted you out.
What the?
Yeah. No, shout out Sarah. She sent in a couple stories.
Ooh.
So I think this is the first one that we're sharing. I'm going to try to share the second one another time. I'm just going to get right into the story. So Sarah is this is her first night in her sorority house.
Ooh.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. So she's in her sorority house, and I guess some of her friends got in as well. So they're moving in, and she's in her friend's room, and a couple of them are there just chilling, and she's helping set up like her friend's TV. She's wearing this like big oversized t-shirt and spandex. And as she's facing the wall, setting up the TV, whatever, she feels a tug on the back of her shirt. And she looks around,
all her friends they're on the couch, chilling, like a good distance. Like nobody could have come and reached out and tugged on her.
What if they're like one of those T-Rex ones, like the T-Rex mouth that you can
The
reach from
pincher?
really far
Yeah.
away?
When you
And
get
then
at like
just-
Six Flags for $20?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, maybe.
Ask Sarah.
Yeah, we'll ask Sarah. See how this story unfolds. Sarah's hilarious. I was laughing during like reading this story like an idiot. She says, when I told them about it, these non-believing hoe asses called me crazy.
Yeah, hoe asses.
So I decided to tuck my shirt into my spandex, like tight,
Nice.
to prove to them that there was a ghosty messing with me. So she resumes
LOL rar.
her duties, setting up the TV, and she feels another tug, and it's harder, and it happens so quickly. Her shirt comes out of her spandex.
Oh.
Yeah. So at that point, they believe her, her friends.
The hoe asses.
The asses. She said this ghosty was constantly pulling pranks on all of us that lived in the house, which sounds like us. We've talked about that before. If we became ghosts, we would instantly just troll us. Yeah.
Bro, if you're going to haunt a place, a sorority's like,
It's like trying to take her shirt off. Though. It's creeping, dude.
I don't know. It could be a sorority girl or something. We'll see.
No means no.
Yeah, that is right.
boo means boo.
Okay. She said there's a lot of stuff that's happening in this house. Nothing that's like
Malevolent?
super malevolent, but just noticeable, obvious, and out of the ordinary. She said constantly people would get locked out of their rooms. She said it got to the point where she like had a sign on her door and she like taped a key to the back of the sign so she could get in. She said I would be super conscious of not locking my door, and I'd leave, come back, and it's locked. You know? She said there's one time that she lost her car keys in her bed. Like she remembers the last time she had it was in her bed. She couldn't find it, so she like stripped her whole bed, took off all the sheets, the blankets, pillows, whatever. Couldn't find it, so that sucks. Has to put her bed back together. And she said out loud, or I can't remember if she said out loud or in her head, but she asked this ghost to please give my car keys back. And after she set up her bed, she moves the comforter over and the keys are on the bed. She said, this is where it gets fun.
Ooh.
She said she was laying on her bed, getting ready to go to sleep, when she sees a girl at the foot of her bed, a young girl. And this little girl had an old dress, blonde hair, a black headband, and no face.
Alarming.
Yeah. This is where she remind you. She said, "This is where the fun begins." Oh. She says, "This is exactly what she said." She said, "I was pumped as shit because I live for the supernatural experiences."
Dude, she just opens her eyes. She's like, yes.
I've been waiting for you.
Yeah. That's why I pledged here.
Yeah.
Beta, gamma, Y. No,
Yeah.
no.
She says, "I was pumped because I live for the supernatural experiences. So when she reached out for me, I just kind of accepted it."
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa. Consensual.
Yeah. So
Take me.
she reaches out and she just accepts it. She said, "I know this sounds really crazy, but we were having a conversation and it was all in my head. While we were talking, it felt and seemed like she was transferring her memories to me. Wow. I could see things in my head. Like I was visualizing like super vividly things that were going on that I've never seen personally. And I know it was coming from her, from this conversation."
That's crazy.
Yeah. And what happened was baby girl was taken by an older woman. She said the older woman seemed like a nanny or something like that and was shot in the face.
The girl was shot in the face?
Mm-hmm. Shot in the face, left buried in the field where our house was built. She was about 5 or 6 years old when all of this happened and was never found.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. She said the next day, after all of that happened, she told her roomies, none of them believed her. So that was that for a whole year. A year later, I guess this new school year, new pledges coming through. And she says,
You got some fresh hoe asses.
yeah, she said, I was still living in the sorority house and we had a new member or a new pledge move into the sorority house and didn't know anything about the ghosties because we try not to tell people about our haunted house until they're at least initiated.
Lock them in first.
Yeah, dude, how disrespectful.
For real.
Dude, it's like, so these new pledges are in the house.
By the way.
Yeah. She hasn't told her experience that happened a year ago to any of the new people yet. She said a couple weeks go by or something. She comes back from a long day of school. She walks into the house and her roommate says about one of the new pledges. I think her name's Gia. She said, "You'll never guess what happened to Gia." And instantly, Sarah felt a connection and said, "Oh my Lord, you saw her, didn't you?" And Gia explains her whole experience. She was laying in her bed, exact same thing. Sees the same girl with the dress, blonde hair, headband, no face, except Gia told her to go away. I guess she complied.
No, thank you.
Yeah, no, thank you. And nothing happened further outside of that. But that just like, that was I think it sounded like that was the first time that somebody experienced the same thing that she did. So it like validated her.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because she dealt with that experience for a year. You know, nobody else can relate, which sucks. But that was Sarah's story about the sorority house. It's a little short, but it was also somewhat kind of comforting almost. Like it wasn't a malicious spirit. I think she was just trying to share her story, like make people aware of what happened and not forget her or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts?
First question, are you a Gia or a Sarah?
Probably closer to Sarah because I'm like, I don't really believe this is happening, so prove it.
Ooh. I want to be a Sarah, but I think I'd be a Gia.
I can't remember if we talked about this, whether like just us or on the podcast, but I feel like
which is 90% of my thoughts lately. Yeah. It's like, have I shared this on the pod? I have no idea.
Yeah. Especially since we get hush hush about our stories, like in real life. It's like, we'll start to tell a story. We'll be like, oh no, I gotta save it for the podcast.
Go away.
Yeah. Like when I've gotten to the point where, because I grew up having a lot of sleep paralysis, and I've gotten to the point where I know when it's coming. I know when to like stop it and wake up before it gets like really intense. And I feel that feeling coming on to me. It's like just like this pressure on my body, and I like it gets to the point where I almost can't move, can't breathe. But I don't know what it was, but I can't remember where I was either. But maybe like 2 months ago, I got like this overwhelming like feeling where something is telling me is like, just like let it happen. Like I heard, like I was hearing in my head like over and over. It's just like
submit.
Yeah, just like just go with it. But it didn't feel like bad or evil. It was like, it almost felt like there's something on the other side of this, and if I go through with it, like I'll learn something or like experience something new and good. Maybe that was false, you know?
Yeah. You might gain some knowledge, you might
Yeah,
say.
but I was feeling a little more like a
snake with an apple.
Yeah. I was feeling a little bit like Sarah, and it happened because I was getting it multiple times that night. And after the first time I woke up and I started getting those feelings and thoughts. So it came a second time, and I was like trying to push it further and further, just like, or not push it, just like allow it to happen. But at the last second, I would like pull myself out of it. Yeah. And that happened like 3 or 4 times in the middle of the night.
Huh.
So I don't know. I don't always feel like that, like a Sarah, but
you can relate to her in that instant.
Yeah, I can.
Huh.
Yeah.
I mean, it depends on mood too. Like if I'm just like, I'm not, just go away.
I'm trying to go to bed.
I'm trying to sleep right now.
I guess what I'm saying, I don't judge either of them. Like I understand both sides.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
And I think, that's a crazy story.
Yeah.
It's always so satisfying when something unrelated to you, someone who wasn't there, didn't know anything, just completely validates your experience. And they're like, yo, I saw a red hat and balloon. You're like, that's exactly what I saw.
Yeah.
But that's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, Sarah. She said she's always been sensitive to like spirits, and we've talked about the gift before. So she said her whole life she's had that. She said she has a story where she like conjured her own poltergeist as a teenager, something like that. I don't know, something weird, you know?
Huh.
Kind of funny, kind of strange.
There's things
Kind of
called
funny.
tulpas.
Tulpas?
Yeah, tulpas.
How do you spell it? Spare
I
it.
think you spare it.
I just pulled a U.
Yeah, that's me. You spare it Tulpa.
Tulpa.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Mysterious Universe have talked about tulpas a lot. I think they're kind of an old, no, they're not a cryptid. I don't know. They're an old subject in like paranormal. They go back a long way. And I could never understand what they were saying because they're Australian. So they'd be like tulpa. And I was like, what are you saying? Like, I had no idea.
Yeah.
And I finally figured it out. But basically what it is like you can bring something into existence through thought. So if you start imagining and believing that there's like a dark force, that action will like create
Materialize.
it. Yeah. And then the more it will like feed more and more the more you believe.
Yeah. That's basically like rando nodding or The Secret that we've talked about. You know?
Yeah.
So that's cool. Sarah real quick said, also Charles, guess where my sorority house is? Go Dogs.
Fresno.
So
Not affiliated.
Bulldogs.
Bulldog. Fresno Bulldogs. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That makes it way more scary
Yeah.
and believable.
Are you familiar with like the
The sororities up in Fresno? No.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, I've been to those.
Yeah, when she said spandex, I was like, ooh, Fresno. That's where that is. No, I do not. Sorry. That's cool. That's crazy. That sucks. She went to Fresno. That's trash.
So sorry.
That's the scariest detail.
From New Jersey to Fresno.
Ugh. Sorry. Cool. Is that you?
That's me.
Thank you. Thank you, Sarah. To start, what's the craziest thing you've seen in church?
In church,
Yeah. Or church related.
a homeless man. Come Lenny pointed at me. Homeless man sleeping in our church.
I think you told us once, but refresh the.
So I wasn't there to
Slackers.
discover him, but we were playing like hide and go seek. And Mormon churches, for all you sinners out there,
Dude, the biggest jokes.
Mormon churches are huge. Like they have 20 rooms for like classes for like all different ages and whatnot. There's like the main chapel, and a lot of them have like big gyms inside the church just for multiple uses, whether it's like a big dinner party or just playing basketball, just a bunch of random stuff. And we would always, every like Christmas, we'd have like a big Christmas dinner with the people in the congregation. And all the kids would play hide and go seek into the hallways outside of the
Dude,
gym.
the best.
The best, dude. The best. We'd turn off the lights and it'd be all spooky. Kalani in the back is smiling because that was like half of our childhood. And in the gym, there's a stage as well. And there's these big like velour draped curtains that come down, and they were closed. So the stage, if it's not in use, the lights are off. And in the stage, there's ladders on both sides in the back. One goes to electrical and one goes to air conditioning. And the air conditioning was huge, and it had vents that ran throughout the whole church. And then there's the door to the roof upstairs. So we're familiar with this. These are all the good hiding spaces and whatnot. But one of our friends is climbing up the ladder to the air conditioning room, and he opens the door and he climbs on top of like the air conditioning and goes to the vent, and he finds half-eaten food just inside the vent. This vent is big enough where you can crawl through. And they find a homeless man there. Yeah. And it freaks him out, and we tell the bishop, and he takes care of it. And,
Does the Christ-like thing,
and
kicks his ass out.
murders him. No. Yeah, I think he became a member. Did he become a member? Yeah, he got baptized.
way.
Yeah.
He needed a place to
Yeah,
stay.
he said, you
Ensign.
can stay here, but you gotta get baptized, bro.
You got to take a bath in the waters of baptism. Hey, Ensign,
He's
pick
gonna
this
have-
story up, dog.
Yeah.
This is crazy.
Well, he got kicked off of the
Yeah, he got kicked off
Just
for a little
kept
bit.
coming back.
Yeah.
He picked up a kid and screamed at him.
Okay, so Kamlani.
Maybe the kid deserved it.
Just 'cause, like, my dad had to deal with some of the stuff.
Oh yeah, was he the bishop at the time,
He was,
or was stake president? Okay. Anyway, Kamlani is saying that this man apparently picked up a kid and like screamed at him.
Okay.
It was me. No.
I mean, we've all been there. That's crazy.
Yeah. Do you hate when that happens?
What?
When the homeless pick you up and scream at you?
Oh, I was like, what are you? What? Yeah, dude.
But to answer your question, that was maybe the scariest thing that happened.
Nice.
Because like hide and go seek, and it's like we found you.
And we didn't want to.
Yeah. You weren't supposed to play with us.
Sean, do you have any crazy things or no? Pretty lax.
Yeah, I don't really have anything.
I don't know if I've ever told you guys. Oh, I've told you guys. I don't know if I've told you on pod. Oh my gosh. So like members of the congregation get their chance to come up and speak and like share their thoughts on the gospel, how it's touched their life, how it's worked for them, etc., etc. So these are just regular people like in the community. There's a young dude moved into the ward and he's giving a talk. It's very droning. It's boring. I was like 11, so I was not paying attention. I was playing the dot game. I was drawing on the program. And something in my heart spoke, a still small voice. And it said, pay attention to the talk. Like, start paying attention. So I was like, what? So I look up and instantly I can tell something's wrong. Everyone on the stand is like stressed. And this guy is like hunched over, leaning on the podium, talking into the mic like he's talking, I don't know, like he's bearing his soul.
Yeah.
And the cadence of how he's talking is just so odd. He's saying things like, me and my mother stopped on the side of the road, popped the hood, flames. Our car was on fire. Just like sharing traumatic events from his life. And I'm trying to figure this all out. Just staring up at him. Like, what's going on? An adult needs to do something. And he goes, I'm going to change the names. He goes, and Stacy, I want to apologize to you. And Stacy is a woman in the congregation sitting like 3 rows back. She's also sitting right next to her husband. She goes, Stacy, I need to apologize to you and your family. I love you. I've had these feelings ever since I've known you. And I know that they're wrong. And I'm just like, and everyone in the congregation is like paralyzed, just watching this kind of weird dude profess his love to a married woman by her husband. Dude, I think I blacked out what happened next because I saw what I needed to see. I can't remember how it ends. I just remember he stayed in that ward forever. And it was just like mad awkward. But yeah. So that's one of the craziest things I've seen. I've seen someone pass out like during giving a speech. They like lock their knees. Anyway, my story tonight takes place in Hawaii.
Wow.
More specifically, near BYU, Hawaii. And if you guys didn't know, BYU is like a Mormon school. And there's like 3 of them. One in Idaho, one in Utah, and one in Hawaii.
Randomly.
Yeah. So DJ, what's it's in a city called Laie, right?
Or purposefully, if you're a believer.
It's in Laie, right?
Yeah. Laie is like little Utah in Hawaii. Everyone there is Mormon. Everything's closed on Sunday. And everyone there it's like Polynesian Central in Hawaii. Everywhere else in Hawaii, you're either Hawaiian or white or Asian. But like the north side in Laie is like mostly Polynesian.
So what's it like geographically and all that? Like North Shore?
It's the complete opposite side of Waikiki and Honolulu. Very country, super chill. Probably my favorite drive on planet Earth, like driving up to Laie, because it's like literally right on like the beach, the road. And it's just 2 lanes, one for each way. And driving up there, you're like on the beach for like 45 minutes.
The most beautiful beach on your right.
And on the left is just
Country.
green mountains. And it's gorgeous. Gorgeous.
Nice.
But yeah, Laie is a small town. Almost everybody knows each other. Good place.
And a lot of transitory or like students coming in and out.
Yeah, BYU, I don't know if this is part of your story or pertinent, but BYU Hawaii is like a gateway for a lot of the like international students to get like
a lot of international students go to BYUH, and from there they try to work in the States and then get citizenship. So there's a big population of people from all over Asia, a lot like even Europe, like just all over the world. But
It's super like culturally diverse.
Mhm.
Okay. This story is 2013 at BYUH, and this happened to someone I know pretty closely or pretty dearly.
2013?
2013. So you might know people who were there at the time. You know what I mean?
Oh, for sure.
And
Because I graduated 2010, so I still had a ton of homies in school at that time.
like when I heard this story, I was like, "Are you like?" It's so crazy. I was like, dude, what? And I was like, I know people who went there, and they're like, ask, they'll know this. This happened. I was like, okay. Anyway, so we're gonna call her Jess.
I have an idea. Keep going. Like of what this story might be about.
Okay.
But go.
All right. So Jess is she's like living in Laie in like BYUH housing. She's kind of on and off going to church, trying to discover her own, path. So Sunday she's not going. Some Sundays she is going. This happened at the end of summer. So everyone had like flown home. So it was super unpopulated and the wards were super scarce. Not a lot of people. And it was right around this time people were starting to fly back, but not everyone had been back. So she's in this ward, super small numbers, and they're all hanging out at the house. She lives with like 3 or 4 or 5 girls or something. And they're all talking about this kid. And she said to protect him, we're going to call him Jason. He was a younger student. I think he may have been international. And they were all just, she said, quote, talking shit about Jason. Just all this stuff. Now, she knew of Jason, but she didn't know Jason directly. She said, I don't even know if I ever said like direct words to him, but he was friends with some of my friends. And like you said, everyone knows each other. It's pretty tight knit. So she was very aware of him. So Jason, they said, had started saying a lot of weird things in church. And like during lessons and stuff, he would chime in and everything he was saying was like, the world's going to end. The world's ending soon. And which if he was doing that in 2020, I'd be like, for sure, dude.
Not wrong.
Yeah. This is 2013. So he's sharing that. He's kind of getting on people's radar and they're just like, they're talking crap about him. And Jess is like, dude, don't judge him. Like, whatever.
They hated him because he told the truth.
Oh, okay.
All Pharisees then.
And then it kind of kicks up a little. So he starts sharing revelations he's been receiving in his dreams. Okay, Sean laughs at him.
Well, that's almost like next level. It's like, I'll just leave it at that.
It is almost like it's next level. Yeah. So Jess at the time is studying psychology and philosophy. So she hears these things and she's like perked up. She's like, this is super fascinating, super interesting. So then after a couple days, everyone starts saying, have you seen Jason? Have you been seeing him? Apparently, Jason just starts walking all up and down North Shore all day long. He'll just walk from one town to another. And people are like, if you pass him, he's talking to himself. And every once in a while, he'll stop and stare up into the sky and just have a conversation. So something's up. Then it kind of escalates a little bit. He starts aggressively approaching everyone in church and warning them and being like, we've got to do something. Like the end is coming. We've got to start preparing. And he's frantic and people are like, calm down, dude. And he's like, no, you're not listening to me. Like we've got to do something. The end is coming. And it's like he's stuck in this loop and he truly believes it. And he is taking it upon himself to like warn everyone.
Wow. I feel sorry.
Okay. So it's uneasy. Everyone's like, dude, something's up. It's very obviously he's in distress. He needs some attention. So the bishop starts meeting with him a ton one-on-one. And they're having these really long conversations. Meanwhile, everyone's talking shit, right? Like, what a freak. Okay. Fast Sunday rolls around. Jess wakes up. She's feeling spiritual, feeling one with the island, but she's not feeling church. So she says she throws her skirt to the side, throws on some tennis shoes, dips. She has her backpack. She has her phone. She's just walking. She's going to walk to the store. She actually said, like, before she decided to leave, it was almost like a whim, like a random thought in her head was just go explore today. And she was going to ignore it, but she, like, at the last second was like, okay, and just decided to go. And I think she decided to kind of just follow her feelings. So as she's, like, walking towards the store, her phone is just, So she's like, super annoyed because her roommates, every time she skips church, all of them blow her up. Like, hey, we missed you today. I heard a thought in church today and I thought of you. So she's like super annoyed at this because they were pretty aggressive in their fellowshipping.
No, I really thought about you.
So she just keeps on walking. She goes to the store. She gets some Gatorade, gets like a snack, comes out of the store, and again, super pissed. She walks around to the back of the store, and behind the store, there's an alley. No one's back there. Right at the edge of the alley is jungle, just wilderness that DeeJay was talking about. So she's like, ugh, kneels down, takes her backpack off, throws her phone on silent, throws it into her backpack. As she zips up her backpack, she said, all of a sudden, I knew I wasn't alone. I knew there was someone super close to me, and I knew it was Jason. This is before she's looked up. So she freezes, slowly looks over. She said about 5 feet, she sees black shoes. She scans up and sees black pants, then a black shirt, until she looks into Jason's face. She said, I did not expect to see what I saw. Quote, the entire world stopped when she looked into Jason's face. She said, his entire eyes were black. There was no whites in his eyes. And he had a grin ear to ear. She said the only word to describe what she saw was demonic. So she's kneeling down, looking up at Jason, and he's just full on with jet black eyes. She said, I had no idea what to do. She's paralyzed with fear. She's physically, emotionally, and like spiritually defenseless. She has no idea what to do.
Especially spiritually, because she should have been at church.
Because she's sinning. She said, as I'm looking at him, she said, I had the strongest impression he could like look inside my head and he knew my thoughts. So she said she's in this position and all she knows, she has like no idea what's happening. The only thing she knows is the next moves I made are going to be some of the most important ones I ever make. So she does the only and first thing that comes to her mind. And she says, I decided to try and love him. So she says, super gently, are you okay? I feel like you need someone to listen to you. And she said, instantly, his face changes. He goes from smiling to terrified. And his eyes are super wide and he's confused and terrified. And she continues, what are you doing out here? Do you want to sit and tell me about it? And she said again, instantly, his face changes and he's grinning again. So she goes, I knew now more than ever, like this, I had to act now. And she goes, Jason, will you let me go to the store? I forgot something and I need to go back to the store. So she slowly stands up and he does not break eye contact the whole time. She said she took like 3 or 4 steps back and said, I'm going to grab it. Maybe we can share it. And then she realizes, she thinks inside, if I can just get to the corner of the store, I'll be okay. Just get to the corner. Just get to the corner. So slowly backing up, not breaking eye contact the whole time. She goes, I'll be right back. I'll be just a minute. I'll be just a minute. Gets around the corner. Second she gets around the corner, sprints to the store, opens the store and gets inside. Out of breath. No idea what's going on. And then the thought, check your phone. So she pulls her phone out, and the first text she sees is from her roommate. And it says, 911, are you safe? Scrolls down, looks at all these texts, all her roommates. Where are you? Are you safe? Where are you? Until finally she sees what's happening. One of her roommates texted, dude, everyone went home from church early. Jason, during church, just stood up and started screaming at the top of his lungs. Completely lost it. Then he pulled off all his clothes, ran out of the church, and ran straight into the jungle. Where are you? Are you okay? Oh, no one can find him. She said her blood runs cold, and she feels something right behind her. So instantly whips around. No one there. She looks out of the store for a while, can't see anything. Opens the door and starts quickly walking home. When she turns around to look behind the store, nothing there. She goes home. She said, I barely ever saw Jason after that. What I heard is that his parents flew to Hawaii, picked him up, and took him. But that's all. That was her experience with Jason. That end.
I'm relieved. I'm so relieved.
I guess that's probably the scariest church experience then. Wasn't even at church.
That's pretty insane. It's like for anybody, but just like none of us have experienced anything like that at church.
I mean, I do know a couple people who have had run-ins with, believe it or not, I don't know what you call it, but they believe possessed people.
Mm-hmm.
I asked this person, I was like, so you could not, like, what did the eyes look like? She said, just jet black. Like, there were no whites in his eyes. And I was like, that had to have been insane. She's like, it was the single most scary thing in my entire life.
Wow. That's insane. I am definitely going to be asking a lot of my friends who went to BYUH.
Do it.
Around that time about it.
But she didn't use his real name, so maybe I'll ask her the real name.
Yeah, we'll reach out and see if we can find out any other maybe personal experiences with him before that happened or during whatnot.
I think
so wild.
The crazy element is like she seems super hyper aware of like in the moment, the exact moves you're about to make are very important.
Yeah, I wonder if if she tried to run instead, like he would have chased her. Because if he's like 5 feet away and you're crouching, like that's kind of that's a pretty slim chance.
If you have some demons on your side too.
Yeah, they got that ultra speed.
I know
that anime speed.
In Tonga, they say like my Tongan companion would be like, when someone's like, he said this so matter of factly,
just this big, huge.
Okay, he's like 9'10".
9'13".
Yeah, he had traps to his ears, constantly doing push-ups. And he's like, to be honest, back home, I am the smallest brother. And I was like, what the hell are you talking about? Anyway, but he was just like, back on the island. He would always be like, to be honest, back on the island, when someone becomes possessed, they have very strong. So he said like, grandmas and stuff all of a sudden have the ability to just like throw people.
That's the same dude who works in the no not the same dude. Okay,
this is Coca.
Okay, never mind, sorry.
Eduate shout out.
Wow, yeah, I'm excited to see if my friends have anything, because it's so like that school is so small. Like how many people go to BYUH at one time? Like 500. I feel like it's less than 1,000. Like that's a community college, you know. But this is an accredited university. That's wild. I thought you were going to talk about, there's 2 spooky stores in Laie.
Ooh.
I forgot the specific name. Do you remember? So you would go to Laie if you're visiting Oahu as a tourist or something. Your chances of going to Laie, or at least passing through, are pretty high, because you have to pass through Laie to get to the North Shore. I mean, there's another way to drive there, but it's the ugly way. What is that?
29. Oh, yeah.
29. 3,000 people at BYU.
That's still not a lot, you know. Like that was our high school, you know. Anyway, you either drive through going to the North Shore, or in Laie, there's something called the PCC, or the Polynesian Cultural Center.
Which I highly suggest if you're in Oahu.
Yeah, great tourist destination. I mean, all the locals have been there too. It's really cool, but it's just a place to learn about Polynesian culture and like see like the fire knife dancing, and it's really dope. But every year, at least growing up, they did like so throughout the PCC, it's like a Polynesian Disneyland almost.
Hell yeah.
Kind of. But there's like a river going through PCC. Canal. That's a good one. Canal. And you can like paddle your own canoes going through, looking at all the different villages and whatnot. Or they have bigger ones where a guy's like pushing you, and like 20 white people or Asians. And,
It's like a brown gondola.
yeah. Yeah. That's why you go to PCC, or that's why you would go to Laie, is because PCC, or you're driving through to go to the North Shore.
Yeah.
But PCC, growing up, they would put on Halloween like a haunted canoe ride.
Ooh.
It was pretty fun, and they would do it on is it like the Lady of Laie or something like that? Yeah. Classic
La
horror
Llorona.
trope with like the white dress
Yeah.
woman, long hair. But there's a terrifying part in the ride where you're in the canoe and you can see in different parts, like you can see her like peeking like around trees, like just standing there.
Ugh.
And yeah, I have chills from it,
Damn,
dude.
bro.
Yeah,
This
from
scarred
this
you.
fake canoe ride.
That you took 20 years ago.
Yeah, dude. Unearthing these
Dude,
memories.
you're shook.
Yeah. But the craziest part is when you're in the canoe and she's standing on the bank and she's like fully like shown. She's not hiding behind anything. She's like right on the bank looking at you. And when you get close to her, she like runs out to you on the water, dude.
Oh!
And then she like right before she gets to the canoe, she walks into the water and disappears.
She
And
just water
you don't
bends.
see her. You don't see her. Yeah, it's crazy. She just
And you just tie in your pants.
yeah. Yeah, straight way. I thought you were going to either talk about Lady in Laie, or there is some place called Laie Point, and it's really beautiful.
No, point.
Oh,
I was like,
Laie Point, super beautiful. You can watch.
Or what if the woman in white was just right there?
terrifying?
DJ, I knew it. Laie Point.
Yeah, Laie Point. You can watch sunrise. You can also go cliff jumping there. Super beautiful, but it is a hotbed for suicides. Unfortunately, people jump off.
All my
and-
friends are dead.
Yeah. People jump off. People have driven off.
Oh,
It's crazy. Yeah. So I thought you were going to talk about Laie Point,
nope.
and then maybe. So this is a new one. This is exciting because this is like my home. Laie is like 30 minutes away from my hometown. So, sorry, I'm just going off on Hawaii.
Yeah, what else?
Hawaii's really cool, guys.
Leonard's Cakes.
Yeah, Leonard's Bakery.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks, dude.
No worries.
Was that
man.
it?
I mean, that's it for me
Dope.
tonight.
Dope.
I do have a scary story that happened in Wyoming near Jackson.
Really?
I do.
Tell.
Next episode.
Okay.
all right, guys. One more thing for you.
Ooh.
So, have you ever been at work
No.
and
Never.
had
Not in the last 6
something
months.
had something you couldn't explain happen to you? Something scary
While at work?
while at work,
Something scary at work.
like maybe working late hours.
I will say, since Corona started, no one's at my office. And I wasn't working there for a long time, but I started going in more and more because the internet stomps my internet at home. But there is something creepy about working in offices alone, especially all the lights are like on motion. So after like an hour, it's like goes dark in the
Just
entire
the one
office.
light.
Yeah, and I don't turn it on because I'm just working. I prefer the dark.
Molded by it.
But it is creepy. It's like, ooh, I don't know.
Yeah, no, 100%. So I have another story for you,
Yes.
and I will be sharing it with our patrons. Some experience shared with us from a listener happened to them while they were working. So
So if you guys want to go here, if you're not a patron already, go ahead and head over to www.
if you want to listen to our bonus stories and give us your money, go over to patreon.com/the3am pod.
There you go. That's what I was going to say, dude. Let me finish.
It's also in the link in our bio and our Instagram. So,
And if you're not, thanks for listening. We'll be back in a minute.
Here we go. So almost 15 years ago now, I worked at this coffee shop in the west side of Chicago. That used to be some kind of old warehouse back in the day. And it was
there are ghosts that come to you, like Sarah.
And there are you that come to ghost.
Yeah. If you are like following the breadcrumbs of ghosts, like that's your fault. Whatever happens, I feel like.
Yes,
So-
blame the victim.
Yeah.
Are we back yet?
I'm so sorry. That's not a fair comparison. But
I'm just kidding. I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
Well, are we back yet? Are we going back from Patreon?
I don't know. No,
I know what you're saying. It's definitely not a fair comparison, but we'll be honest. Like most people are aware of their agency. It's like if you're putting yourself in that situation, it's like, come on, you're kind of inviting some things that, dude, this is dangerous. I feel like I'm about to get canceled. No, but like if you go to a haunted graveyard and you bring like a Ouija
It's
board,
true though.
like, dude,
you're bringing it on yourself.
yeah,
Haunted situations will stick with that. Like,
yeah,
but
strictly
strictly.
haunted situations.
But it's like we've all seen it in the horror movies. It's like they see like the kid running down the hallway on the ceiling. And they're like, "What is that?" And
Guys,
then they'll follow it.
I think we should split up.
yeah. I think we should split up. It's like, no, why?
Yeah. So if your life is a movie and you're making a decision that the entire audience would yell no to, it's like,
Then it's your own damn fault.
yeah, whatever happens next, like type it up and send it in to us.
Yeah. Give us your content.
Nah, tonight was awesome.
Tonight was fun.
Loved it. I love
Yeah.
being back into it. I loved every story was a user sub. It was a
Yeah.
listener submission,
Yeah.
which is the goal.
Yeah. We really want to. Since the beginning, we kind of wanted to get to the point where people would send in their stories and then we just go off of user submitted stories.
Yeah.
Because it's what we started with,
It's the
asking people,
best. Yeah.
do you have any scary stories? So
Yeah.
I think we kind of made it. It's just a little milestone. I'll count it.
Yeah.
Little victories. But that's us tonight. Thank you everyone again for tuning in. We've only made it this far because of you guys. So thank you so much. We love you. If you need someone to talk to or have any questions or just want to chat, hit us up on our DMs. We're open.
Totally. And just so you know, patrons out there, for all your support, we are putting every dollar back into the podcast. It's been fun. We're slowly getting things that we need to, be to where we want to be.
Make this a little cooler for us and for you guys.
Totally.
Audio visual wise.
Yeah.
So,
With
anything else? With that, trust your gut, watch your back.
Bye. Love you. Be safe.
Be careful out there and question everything.
Cool.
Bye.
See ya.
Hey, thank you so much for tuning into this episode of 3 a.m. If you want to support us, visit our Patreon where patrons have access to exclusive content. If you're not able to support us monetarily, don't worry. This episode is on us. You can still rate and review us on whatever platform you listen to us on. It really does go a long way. You can also follow us on social media. Our handle everywhere, including Patreon, is the 3 a.m. pod. Finally, do you have any scary stories? If so, submit them to our website, the3ampodcast.com. We love any audio or visual aids that can help bring your stories to life. So file uploads are welcome with your written submissions. We're anxious and excited to hear from you.